Ukrainian military efforts to reverse recent Russian territorial gains around the strategic eastern city of Pokrovsk have faltered, according to reports from the front lines. A series of counterattacks launched by Ukrainian forces aimed at dislodging Russian troops from newly captured positions have reportedly been repelled, marking a significant setback for Kyiv's defensive operations in the Donetsk region. The situation remains fluid and contested, with both sides committing substantial resources to what has become a pivotal battleground. The area around Pokrovsk has been the scene of intense fighting for weeks, with Russian forces steadily advancing and threatening to encircle the city, a key Ukrainian logistic and command hubs. The recent Ukrainian counteroffensives were intended to blunt the momentum of the Russian advance and stabilize the front line. However, they appear to have been met with fierce resistance. Ukrainian commanders had dispatched reserve units to the area in an attempt to contain the Russian penetration, which had seen Russian infantry advances deep into Ukrainian lines. Despite these reinforcements, Ukrainian troops have struggled to make significant headway against well-entrenched Russian positions. The Russian military has reportedly leveraged its numerical superiority in both infantry and artillery to thwart the Ukrainian assault. Detailed accounts from the battlefield paint a grim picture for the Ukrainian forces. Soldiers on the ground have described relentless Russian assault, with small infiltration groups constantly probing Ukrainian defenses, making it difficult to hold positions. These tactics, combined with persistent drone surveillance and strikes, have created a perilous environment for Ukrainian troops attempting to launch offensive operations. Reports also indicate shortage of ammunition and manpower on the Ukrainian side, further hampering their ability to sustain a successful counterattack. The failure of the counterattacks has significant strategic implications. Pokrovsk serves as a critical artery for supplying Ukrainian forces across the Eastern Front. Its potential encirclement or capture would represent a major blow to Ukraine's defense of the Donetsk region and could force a significant realignment of its defensive line. The city's proximity to key supply routes makes it a primary target for Russian forces seeking to disrupt Ukrainians' logistics and degrade their combat effectiveness. The inability of the Ukrainian military to push back the Russian advance underscores the immense pressure their forces are under in this sector. Military analysts have highlighted the tactical challenges facing the Ukrainian military. The Russian advance has created a salient, a bulge in the front line, that is difficult for Ukrainian forces to attack from multiple directions. Russian troops have been quick to fortify their newly acquired positions, making any attempt to reclaim them a costly and arduous endeavor. The terrain in the area, characterized by open field and small settlements, offers limited cover for advancing forces, exposing them to Russian artillery and drone attacks. The response from the Ukrainian government has been a mixture of acknowledgement of the difficult situation and assertions that their forces are holding the line. Ukrainian military officials have stated that their troops are engaged in heavy fighting and are inflicting significant losses on the Russian attackers. President Volodymyr Zelensky has acknowledged the Russian advances but has also emphasized the resilience of Ukrainian defenders and the deployment of reinforcement to the Pokrovsk sector. The Ukrainian General Staff has reported repelling numerous Russian attacks, though these claims are difficult to independently verify amidst the fog of war. In contrast, Russian sources have portrayed the situation as a significant success, highlighting their continued offensive operations and the failure of Ukrainian counterattack. Russian military bloggers and state-controlled media have lauded the advance as a major step toward achieving their objectives in the Donbas regions. These narratives often emphasize the high casualty allegedly suffered by Ukrainian forces in their failed attempts to regain lost territory. The international community is watching the battle for Pokrovsk with growing concern. The outcome of this engagement could have far-reaching consequences for the overall trajectory of the war. A significant Russian victory could embolden Moscow and put further pressure on Ukraine's already strained military. Conversely, a successful Ukrainian defense, even if it does not fully reverse Russian gain, could demonstrate their continued ability to resist and potentially create opportunities for future counteroffensive. The fighting has also had a devastating impact on the civilian population in and around Pokrovsk. The constant shelling and threat of encirclement have forced many to flee their homes, adding to the growing number of internally displaced persons in Ukraine. Those who remain face a dire humanitarian situation, with limited access to essential service and the constant danger of being caught in the crossfire. Looking ahead, the situation around Pokrovsk is likely to remain highly volatile. Both sides have invested heavily in this sector, and neither is likely to back down easily. The coming days and weeks will be critical in determining the fate of this strategically important city and could prove to be a turning point in the war in eastern Ukraine. The ability of the Ukrainian military to regroup and mount a more effective defense will be crucial in preventing a major operational level breakthrough by Russian force. The continued flow of Western military aid will also be a key factor in determining Ukraine's ability to sustain its defense against the relentless Russian pressure. The pressure of the initial counterattack served as a stark reminder of the formidable challenge Ukraine faced in its fight to defend its territory. The broader context of the war also plays a role in the development around Pokrovsk. Russia's offensive in the east is part of the wider strategy to seize control of the entire Donbas region. The intense pressure on Pokrovsk is designed to draw Ukrainian reserves away from other sectors of the front, potentially creating vulnerabilities that Russian forces could exploit elsewhere. This highlights the difficult choice facing the Ukrainian high command as they try to allocate their limited resources to defend against multiple Russian thrusts. The use of infiltration tactics by Russian forces has been a notable feature of the recent fighting. Small groups of infantry, often moving on foot or using light vehicle like motorcycle, have been able to penetrate Ukrainian lines and establish footholds in key areas. This approach, while costly in terms of casualties, has proven effective in overwhelming Ukrainian defense in certain locations. The ability of these small groups to then be reinforced and consolidated poses a significant threat to the stability of the Ukrainian front line. The role of technology in this battle cannot be overstated. Drones are being used extensively by both sides for reconnaissance, artillery, spotting, and direct attack. The constant presence of these unmanned aerial vehicles has made it extremely difficult for either side to achieve tactical surprise. The effectiveness of electronic warfare systems in jamming enemy drones has become a critical element of battlefield success. The psychological dimension of the conflict is also evident in the battle for Pokrovsk. The relentless Russian pressure is intended to wear down the morale of Ukrainian troops and create a sense of inevitability about their advance. For their parts, the Ukrainians are fighting with fierce determination to defend their homeland, drawing strength from a sense of national unity and purpose. The information war is also being waged intensely, with both sides seeking to shape the narrative of the battle in their favor. In conclusion, the failure of Kyiv's recent counterattacks in the Pokrovsk sector represent a significant tactical setback for the Ukrainian military. It underscores the immense challenges they face in confronting a numerically superior and well-entrenched adversary. The strategic importance of Pokrovsk means that the fighting in this area is likely to intensify in the coming days and weeks. The ability of Ukraine to stabilize the front line and prevent the encirclement of the city will be a crucial test of its military capabilities and its resolve to continue the fight. The outcome of this battle will have a profound impact on the future course of the war in eastern Ukraine. Many of my listeners, like 70%, haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel. And so many of you don't even know that you haven't subscribed. And that is actually what makes the show going. It's almost like you're making a donation to the show. So that's why I ask again and again, because it enables us to grow and grow and grow. And we're going for the long haul here. And listen, if this is your first time listening to World Global Conflict, you don't have to subscribe. You guys, your first one's on me. But if you have watched this show before, it's like you are a freeloader now. So all I would ask you is, if you have seen this show before and you like it, help me, help my team here. Hit that subscribe and like button now, and we will continue to build a show for you. That is what. Thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. That's all for me for today. I will see you soon. Bye for now.